I had a very interesting comment from a YouTube user named Zeb Nemeth on my video about the Vosteed knives that I purchased. And he called me out for using a pretty shoddy allegory at the end there. But I was talking about doing business with China. And he, in his comment, he gave me a link to a Wikipedia article about the internment camps in Xinjiang. And I responded thanking him for his comment. And actually, at the end of that video that he commented on, I say, there was something else. It's gone. And then I end the video because I forgot the one other thing that I wanted to mention. And that was this question of slave labor being used in knife manufacture. I don't know if this gets talked about a lot, but I mean, it's obviously there's a question there, right? When, for example, I bought some Queen Cutlery Wharncliffe knives that were made in China, and they're $5. And these are handmade slip joint knives with jigged bone and hand hafted and everything. Brass pins, brass liners, nickel silver, stainless steel blade. After all the materials, how do you even pay the worker? If it's $5 after the import and everything. Now, of course, this may be a loss leader for the vendor, probably is, right? They could be selling it for below cost because they wanted to get rid of it. Also, a lot of this stuff there may be subvention from the Chinese government. It's a complex topic. But I'm a ginger man, and there are redheads in Xinjiang because the Uyghurs are actually genetically different people. And so they are closer to the Caucasian DNA type than the Han Chinese majority. So here we have I was trying to make a video using the comments, and I was going to read his comment and my response. And that came out so tiny on my editing screen, I went to get this magnifying glass, but even then, it was too difficult. If anyone wants to read the comments, they can go and look at that video. But this knife is a Cobra Tech. And according to what I read, Cobra Tech have their parts manufactured in China or in Taiwan, and then they assemble them in the USA. And so of note in here, you get your little, that's the warranty card. This is a card signed by the dude who hand assembled this, or lassie who assembled this by hand in the USA. And that's interesting because it's an automatic knife, and according to what I've read, it's illegal to manufacture. It's illegal to import auto knives or manufacture knives in the US using what? I'm sorry, let me start again. It's illegal to import into the USA automatic knives or parts for automatic knives. But as with the Vosteed, if I look at this, I think, well, how much hand labor went into this? Because I think this is all CNC machined. This checking here, I don't think that was done by hand. I think that was done with a machine. And even these scales, they don't look hand-hafted to me, and they're certainly not, I mean, they're not. It's not hafted. There's a little, you can see, there's a little overlap there. So, yeah, these scales were literally made by a machine. And the liners and bolsters are integral. That was milled by a CNC machine. I reckon. And so I reckon was the blade. I think the whole thing was basically made by machines with machine operators who are specialized workers, probably among the presumably still a majority of people in China who are employed in the regular way, who go to work and get paid a wage and go home and feed their family and all that stuff. And the assembly is done in the USA. And the knife itself is pretty self-explanatory, except for the precise mechanism whereby it actually does the spingy bit. But of interest to me is this, that radius there, and the way that the bolster is matched with this radius here that is matched with that one there. I mean, it's very tidy. And the checking, of course, is highly functional for the deployment, but it looks great. And yeah, depending on your grip, it might offer you a little extra grip. The scales are ebony, according to the box, which is fairly premium material. Blade being D2, of course, not exactly premium, but I don't have a problem with D2. I mean, that'll depend on the heat treatment, right? And the geometry is excellent. That's pretty much what sold me on it at the end when I said, well, this is nice, pretty well done, and lines up extremely well. Really, really ramrod straight on that. Maybe like I've never seen. But I always say that, and then I look again, and something will pop out. I mean, that is really pretty straight. I did a little cardboard cutting, and yeah, it really cuts. I feathered up a matchstick somewhere. Yeah. There we go. I went on the website, Cobra Tech website, and this is kind of the budget-friendly version at $80, so it's not a cheap knife. But at my local sports shop, they had it at the same price that they have on the website. So that was kind of cool. They generally do there. It's a pretty good place to shop for knives. And I was just in there looking for a hat, but I had to check out the knife section and see whether they had anything. And I saw this, and I'm not a massive trapper fan for the slip joint trappers. I like slip joint knives, and I like them all, but the trapper for me is not the most enticing. I like them when they're well done. But this thing is cool. I think it's really cool. Balance point, I reckon it's actually a little further forward maybe than on your typical buck knife. So yeah, the premium options are 154 cm, and you can get carbon fiber, white abalone, that amazing shimmering multicolor rainbow abalone, or stag. I mean, they just say stag. It looks like stag. That's 120 for those ones. And being as, something that always gets me keen with a knife is when it looks like it would be a good whittler. And yeah, D2 is not really the ideal steel, I gather, for whittling because the large carbides and yada yada. So yeah, 154 cm would probably be preferable. I think I quite like these scales. I like them better than carbon fiber. And then the abalone is a little more fragile, I guess. But it looks fantastic if you like that kind of thing. I'm not averse. Thanks for watching.